Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to make a dessert, okay? So on the menu for dessert is pumpkin spice loaf and muffin. So this is the mix, okay? This is a great one and obviously very seasonal this time of year and for fall, and requires very few ingredients, usually things that you'll have on hand. And in this case, I'm really looking forward to this because last weekend was Thanksgiving and I made a pumpkin cheesecake and I had this great big can of pumpkin. Okay, so the recipe called for pumpkin puree. So anyway, I had too much because I only needed, you know, around, I think like 398 ml or something like that. So didn't take up all the can, and today I'm going to get to use up the rest of that can. I saved the pumpkin because this recipe only calls for 1 cup of pumpkin puree. So it's a good feeling when you use up all of your ingredients, right? Like that. So first step we're going to do is, I have my trusty apron on. I find I'm learning that, I don't know if I'm just getting messier over the years or I've probably always been messy. Anyway, it's just nice to try to keep your clothes clean, okay, for most of the day. So this is going to make, I'm going to make a loaf. With this mix, you have a couple of options, and of course you can always do whatever you like. You know, if you want to add to it, things like that, feel free to throw in some add-ins if you want to. But for the cooking method, there's a couple of ways. You can do this in the microwave, and you can also do it in the oven. And you can do it in a loaf pan, or you can do it in muffin makers. So I love a loaf myself. So I'm going to make this a loaf today. And yeah, so we'll get started. I'm going to grab, actually, let's grease our pan. I'm calling it a pan, but really it is the rectangular steamer that we're going to use. This is the loaf. So this wonderful cooking item, cookware, acts as a steamer as well as a loaf pan for baking. So it's wonderful, very versatile. That's what I love about a lot of these pieces. So we are going to just take a little bit of oil. This is all I do. And I just put a little drop in here. Don't need much. Just a tad, okay? And then I just take my basting brush and I just brush it around in here, okay? So this is nice and oiled. Even though, I will tell you, this silicone cookware, Epicure's, it does not stick. I mean, you would be hard pressed to stick this. So it just works really great and it cleans up really nicely. I love their silicone, and that's something I never thought that I would ever like. So yeah, anyway, it's wonderful. So there we go. This is all ready, just that quick. We'll set this aside for now. And I'm going to grab a bowl. So we have a bowl here. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, and I'm going to make this as per package, and I may throw in, actually I'm going to throw in some chocolate chips. So I don't feel like doing a frosting. I don't want to do all that extra. So I just think throwing in some chocolate chips will be perfect. It'll give it a little extra sweetness, and that can sort of act as the frosting. So we're going to whisk together a couple of eggs and 1 cup of the pumpkin puree and 1/2 cup of oil. Okay, so we'll start with that. So I'm going to grab the eggs here, and I gotta say, I am a little bit weird about eggs. I don't know if you guys do this. I do this. So I'm going to crack my eggs separately in here because I take out those little white pieces, okay? It drives me crazy, especially in baking. I cannot handle them. So I just use a couple of spoons. This was a trick my grandmother taught me years and years ago. Maybe some of you do this, but it works really great and makes it a lot easier to get those out, okay? So this is something I always do. Do you? Okay, that one's good. I'm gonna go on to the next. I'm gonna crack this in here. So this recipe calls for 2 eggs without the white pieces. Okay, so bear with me here as I get these off. And I think we're good there. One more little piece here, I'll grab. This works really well. So if you're looking for a little kitchen tip and you didn't know about this one, use 2 spoons to pull away the white part, you know, in the egg, like the umbilical cord or whatever that is, and you grab it, it gets it every time. So we're going to put these in the bowl, and then I'm going to continue to use this because this is actually an Epicure prep bowl, and this has measure on the side, so this goes up to a cup. Okay, so this is actually what I need for pumpkin puree. So I'm not dirtying anything too extra here. And I'm going to just use one of these spoons because why not? And I'm going to scoop out 1 cup of the pumpkin puree. So this is how easy we can do these desserts, okay? Just too easy. Just too easy. All right, so a little bit extra there. So level to the top of this dish, whoops, is a cup. All right, we'll just set this aside here for now. Actually, I'll take the spoon back. So we are going to scoop that in here. There's our cup of pumpkin puree. Isn't this fun? Oh my gosh. I haven't made dessert. Well, I guess I made the cheesecake last weekend, but I'm just having so much fun with this. In the fall, I'm always in the mood to bake and cook and do things like this. So we'll take our whisk, and what was the other one? Oh yes, we need a 1/2 cup of oil. So you can use whatever oil works for you. It just specifies oil. So I use olive oil for everything. But it's just great because you can use healthier alternatives like this one. Okay, that's all I have in my house anyway, is oil, or is olive oil and avocado oil or something like that. So there's the 1/2 cup of oil. We'll pour this in, okay? And then we're just gonna whisk this all together, like so. Mix it up really, really well. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. So we want to preheat the oven to 350. I'll do that right now. Check. Whoops, there we go. So we've got that going. This is all whisked up. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to simply add the batter, or add the mix. How easy is that? This is the kind of desserts I like. They're homemade, but they're quick. Okay, they're quick, they're delicious. You'd think you slaved for hours. Okay, what's going on with my scissors here? This is a result of somebody using my scissors for other things. No doubt. Okay, so we're going to add this mix in. Wonderful. Oh, it smells yummy. Everything you need is all here. So easy to do. All right, so we'll set this over here. And I'm going to just stir this up. And I'm still going to whisk it. I may move on to my spatula, but I think it's... whisk it anyway. I like to whisk things as long as I can. Now, yeah, okay, it might be getting a little too thick here. And so we'll clean this out a little bit, and we'll just carry on with the spatula. So this is a gluten-free, so all of Epicure's desserts are all gluten-free, so which is really nice. I know gluten-free desserts were always sort of a terrifying thing, I think, at one time, because I think they didn't always turn out. They tended to be a little bit dense, but Epicure has nailed gluten-free desserts. I'm telling you, you would not even know that these are gluten-free. Okay, they turn out beautifully. They rise really well. I've never had an issue with them, and it's just so great. And not that I don't have a sensitivity, but who needs it? I mean, it's just an extra healthy step that we just don't need. That we just don't need the gluten. So now that this is all mixed up, I'm going to add about, I don't know, let's say, and here's another thing. So what do we want to add for chocolate chips? A couple of choices here. I'm thinking something a little healthier. I'm going to go with, these are some mini dark chocolate chips. Dark chocolate is a healthier choice if you love chocolate. Keep in mind, it does depend on the percentage of the cocoa in the bar, in the chocolate. So usually it's 75% and up. That is the healthier version. And if you go any less than that, like under 70, then you could go with milk chocolate if you wanted to, because you're really not, it's all strictly flavor. Okay, so, but whatever, for today, I'm going to add these minis in. And actually, I'm looking at this bag too. Yeah, we'll go with the minis. We're good. So I'm going to add in about a half a cup. So I'm just going to use my big main cup here for this, since I have oil in the other one. There we go. That's approximately half a cup. And we're just going to dump those in. And we're going to stir it around. Just enough to mix it up. Okay. And this batter is going to be a little thick. It cooks up like a loaf. So you'll notice, it's not a runny batter. It's got some texture and some thickness to it. And I think you can even use this batter and make cookies. I mean, because it does have that enough of a texture to it that you can do that. So let's get our handy little loaf pan, and we are going to fill this with this yummy, delicious batter. Okay, so here we go. Sorry, you're gonna see the bowl here for a second. All right, there we go. That is perfect. Now this is going to cook in a 350 degree oven for 50 to 55 minutes. Obviously, I won't keep you on here that long while this is cooking, as much as I'd love to chat, but I feel like, I'm always the one chatting. So I will come back to you when this is cooked, and we'll see what the finished product looks like. So right now I'm just kind of pressing it in and smoothing it out into the loaf pan. Delicious. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. And adding in those chocolate chips, it's just a great idea if you don't feel like making a frosting. I find this to be a nice go-to because you still kind of get that little extra sweet without all the work. So just dump them in, add really as many as you like. I find a half a cup seems to work well. There we go. It's all pressed in. Clean this off. One thing about silicone, it cleans off really easy. All right, guys. So there is our loaf of our pumpkin loaf. Okay, I'm gonna pop this in the oven, and I will be back when it's cooked, and we'll look at the finished product. Okay, we are back, and the pumpkin spice loaf is completed. It cooked beautifully. I cannot wait to try it. So let's have a look. I just let it cool for about 10 minutes. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to try this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this out onto this rack and let it finish cooling a bit. It's still quite warm. Look at that. This is what I mean, okay? You cannot beat this. You just can't. So I'm going to set that there. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so this is what I say about the silicone cookware. And I mean, I did oil this a little bit, but even when you don't, sometimes, like a lot of things, you don't need to do that. And it just comes out beautifully. Like it doesn't leave any residue really, and you could practically just rinse these and they're clean. Okay, so they're just such a great investment and so much easier to cook with and use because you don't get all that, you know, they're not hard to clean. So I'm going to cut into this, and we're going to give this a try. I'm going to get a little plate here, and oh, one more thing. I just couldn't resist. I had to make a cup of tea. So what is a piece of delicious pumpkin spice loaf without a hot cup of tea? I mean, come on, right? So I'm going to just get that ready. Hot tea, cold day, chilly day. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this and we're going to give it a try. Oh, it's nice and moist, delicious, I can tell. So I'm going to take a piece on the inside. Look at those chocolate chips. Oh my, what a treat. What a treat. Okay, so what a treat. Look at all those little chocolate chips in there. I mean, is that not perfection? I say it is. Oh, it's just wonderful. Oh my goodness. It is perfect. It's got some cinnamon, it's got some ginger, it's got the pumpkin. It is just delicious, and those chocolate chips, really give it, oh, that nice flavor, nice chocolate. It goes good with everything. Okay, well, I won't sit here and eat this in front of you, but this is the pumpkin spice and loaf muffins. Remember, you can do these, well, they're super fast. You can do them in the microwave, you can do them in the oven, you can do them in the loaf pan as we did today. You can also use the muffin makers, and on top of all of that, you can do them in any pan. You don't have to have the Epicure cookware. I just highly recommend it because it just streamlines everything so well, and it works so good, and it's just so easy to clean and just easy to care for, all of that. I just love it. So when we're talking fast, easy desserts, easy meals, like this is what we want. And, you know, without compromising on the quality and the flavor and all of that. And, you know, I can't say enough about these desserts because not only are they gluten-free, but they're also low in sugar, and all natural ingredients. There's no artificial colors or flavors or additives or anything like that. So, you know, you can pronounce everything, and yeah, so win-win. delicious. Thank you for watching this. Comment below if you would like any information on this or any of the other desserts, and I would be happy to help you with that. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you all soon. Cheers.